Let me check in all channels as usual. Let's see if we are live on Facebook. Yes, we are. That's brilliant. And then let's check YouTube and LinkedIn. Yes, we are on LinkedIn as well, just in case if any of our viewers want to go there and watch us there. Done. Now let's check YouTube. Brilliant. So we are live there as well. That's perfect. And we are live on TikTok as well. That's brilliant. Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Assalamu alaikum. And again, I can't say good evening because it's no longer evening in Pakistan. But if you are from Bahrain, certainly you caught us at the right time. Pakistan is still a little late, but we tried to push it, and we're happy that we could do it because John was obviously very accommodating as usual, very cooperative. So we could obviously push it to 8:30 or 10:30, which is going to work for our Pakistani audience. So thank you so much, everyone. Once more, Assalamu alaikum, and I hope that you're having nice Ramadan and your iftar has been done and you're all well rested and well fed. So there is absolutely no rush. So we are going to start today, and we're starting a very important topic. I'll keep switching back and forth in Urdu as well, John. I hope that's okay for you. For some people who may need a little bit of translation, आप लोगों को हम दोबारा से ये बता दें कि हमारा जो आज का टॉपिक है वो साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी पे है और साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, स्पेशली आजकल के दौर में जब सोशल मीडिया बहुत ट्रेंड में है और लोग जो है वो ज़्यादातर सोशल मीडिया पे प्रेजेंट रहते हैं। इसलिए आज ये बहुत ज़रूरी हो गया बिकॉज वी हैव बीन टेलिंग यू that you can monetize, you can work online, you can have a side hustle, all of that. लेकिन उसके लिए अपनी इमोशनल सेफ्टी, अपनी साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी को प्रायोरिटाइज करना बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो आज हम उस पे बात करने वाले हैं, लेकिन उसके साथ-साथ मैं आपको ये भी बता दूँ कि ये जो आज का एपिसोड है, ये हमने बेसिकली 3 किस्तों में इसको डिवाइड किया है। सो दिस ट्यूसडे, which is today, and then next Tuesday, and then the third Tuesday we will be wrapping it up. So there are basically 3 episodes on psychological safety that we are going to talk about. Each of the segment has different title. We will tell you shortly. अभी हम आपको थोड़ी देर में बताएंगे कि वो क्या टॉपिक है, लेकिन आपको ये जहन में रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि अगर हम मेंटली प्रिपेयर होकर सोशल मीडिया की तरफ नहीं जा रहे, आपको जो भी करना है, आपको अपनी वीडियोस पोस्ट करनी है, आपको कंटेंट बनाना है, आपको फेसलेस वीडियोस बनानी है या आपको खुद कैमरा के आगे रहना है, जो भी आपको करना है, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड that you are now exposing yourself to the entire world, and the feedback will be crucial. Feedback will be critical. Feedback will be positive and it will be negative, but whatever it will be public. तो इसमें प्राइवेसी नहीं है, इसमें कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी नहीं है, and for that reason it's very important that you understand how to take care of your psychological safety. Obviously we are not just going to relate it with social media, we're going to obviously relate it with all walks of life, but I will continue bringing you back to social media because you know we are heading towards building our own presence and product on social media. क्योंकि आपको पता है कि मेरा एजेंडा है आजकल कि आपको मैं ऐसी एक स्किल सिखा दूँ जिससे आप साइड हसल समझकर इंटरनेट पर लेके चल सकें। इसलिए ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि मैं इसको मैच करती रहूँ आपकी साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी के साथ। हाउएवर जैसे मैंने अभी इंग्लिश में भी कहा कि ये सिर्फ़ सोशल मीडिया से रिलेटेड नहीं होती है। आप अगर सोशल मीडिया पे नहीं भी हैं, तो भी आपकी साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है और उस पर जॉन और मैं आज आपसे बात करेंगे। यू नो जॉन बेरी ऑलरेडी। ही इज़ द लीडरशिप कोच, एग्जीक्यूटिव स्किल्स मेंटर एंड कोच। और आज हमारे साथ इस एपिसोड में, नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में और द थर्ड ट्यूसडे एपिसोड में जॉन हमारे साथ बने रहेंगे ताकि वो आपके साथ अपनी एक्सपर्टीज शामिल कर सकें। जॉन टेड टॉक पर भी अपनी स्पीच दे चुके हैं एंड ही इज़ अ वेरी एक्सपीरियंस्ड लीडरशिप कोच। जस्ट इन केस अगर आज आप पहली बार ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं एंड यू डोंट नो हिम, that's why I gave you a little bit of his background, but he's already tagged on LinkedIn in case you want to go and see his previous experience. Okay, so हम अब start करेंगे और अगर आप अभी अभी join कर रहे हैं so please do leave a comment, a hello or whatever greeting, because we want to make sure that we see you. And during the episode, wherever you feel you have a question, please do ask a question. आप question उर्दू में भी पूछ सकते हैं। अगर जॉन के लिए है तो मैं उनको ट्रांसलेट करके बता दूंगी और अगर मेरे लिए है तो मैं आपको उर्दू में आंसर भी कर सकती हूँ। और हम इस पूरे एपिसोड को उर्दू और इंग्लिश में स्विच करते रहेंगे इस तरह से कि आपको इसकी पूरी तरह से समझ आ सके अगर आपको इंग्लिश नहीं आती। बट वी नो वेरी वेल दैट मोस्ट ऑफ आवर ऑडियंस do understand English very well, so we may not have to switch back and forth. But if you do have a question in Urdu, please do not hesitate and ask, and I'll translate it for John. Okay, so let's start, everyone. I have a few lines before I start, which you need to understand. First of all, let me tell you what our topic is today. Obviously, the overall theme is psychological safety. लेकिन आज जो हम फोकस कर रहे हैं द सेफ्टी विद इन, साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी इन द एज ऑफ विजिबिलिटी बेसिकली। एजुकेटर्स, इट इज़ ओके टू बिल्ड योर साइड हसल, आपको कोई नहीं रोक रहा। इट इज़ ओके टू मोनेटाइज योर वॉइस, इट इज़ ओके टू वांट मोर मनी, मोर फ्रीडम, मोर विजिबिलिटी। आपको सोशल मीडिया को अपना अदर इनकम का चैनल बनाना है, आपको इससे कोई नहीं रोक रहा। At UnBoxED, John Berry and I will always encourage you to dream bigger. आपके जितने बड़े ख्वाब हैं आप ज़रूर देखें, but pause. Before you grow louder online, ask yourself something harder. Are you psychologically safe on social media, or are you psychologically safe in your life, whether on social media or not on social media? Because social media is not neutral. Feedback is unfiltered, praise is public, criticism is permanent, and if you are not internally stable visibly, you will feel more exposure. Success without safety will feel empty. So, John, when we push educators or anyone, any professional towards visibility, that's like what psychological risks are we not preparing them for? Just think about or share two or three with us, John. What do you think they are at risk of? What are the three things that they should be, keeping in mind? The three red flags or the three alerts that you can think of?
Literally just keep back on. You froze to whatever you were talking about. So I'm going to just go along with what you just started here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but again, your voice is almost gone again. It was perfect, but it's gone again.
Hear me again?
No, it's the same. Probably if the audience can tell, if they can see us, if they can hear us. I can hear you, John, but your voice is exactly the same as it used to be, like very, very low. Maybe you need to unplug and plug that back in your wire. Yes, the audience are telling me that they can't hear you properly. It was working well just before we started.
Hear me again?
Um, we can't hear you, John.
Hello?
Uh, can someone tell me if you can hear him? Because I can hear him. His voice is, for me, is too low. Okay, John, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you at all now. I don't know if you are mute or what's going on. Maybe you can log back in, log out and log back in. We can wait. Okay, everyone, sorry for that. We really need you to be able to listen to him properly. So that's why I've asked him to log out and log back in. Let's see if that works for him. But I remind you again, we are talking about um, psychological safety, especially in relation to social media. That's what we're talking about, okay? We can't hear you, John. If you're speaking, that's not audible.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now, but again, too low. It looks like your wire's not working, the one that you plugged in. Yeah, it's making buzz. It means it's not working or it's not plugged in properly. Not not audible if you are talking right now. Maybe you have to be a little closer to the microphone. Maybe that would help. Yes, so people are saying that it's too low. It's already too low. So maybe you can start. Maybe it will pick up its pace later on. Can you hear me, John? Okay, I think John's gone to get some help. In the meantime, because we don't want to waste anyone's time, do you have any questions that come to your mind? Anything that we have been telling you in our past um, webinars or in our past podcasts. Let's talk about something that you are still wanting to maybe discover, or maybe you want to ask something. You can post a question right now, and we can see until John's ready. We can pick a few questions from you already. Okay?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Shall I repeat the question, John?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what we were basically talking about, if you remember, we don't want to only associate psychological safety with social media, but basically the question was, when you are on social media, or even when you are talking to other people, not on social media but in your regular life, what are the three red flags that you should pick on that can actually hurt your emotional or psychological safety? What are the first three red flags, three things that I should notice that, oh, that's not good for me? What are those three things? Any three things that you can share with us, John?
When you first ask, the first thing I think of is, as far as a red flag for social media, is someone's response to what I have posted, what their tone is. If I see that somebody is, who I don't know, is following me more than usual, like usually when you have, usually when you're putting in a post, you're going to get people from your niche. They're going to follow you. But if it has somebody, if you have somebody in there that has nothing to do with what you're normally posting, what you're involved in, that's usually a sign. And I feel like that's more like stalking. Uh, another tip. It's those two. It's the negative comments and someone who's following me more than usual. I mean, yes, you get people that are followers to what you're putting in, and that I don't have a problem with. But somebody who really has nothing to do with what you're doing, that's usually a sign. And somebody else I know had that problem. The person became more vocal.
John, I'm very sorry, but I don't think people can hear you still. I can't hear you either. When you say hello,
Well, right
I
now,
can hear you. But when you start speaking, your voice is gone, like your audio is not reaching us. We can hear you, but we don't know what you're saying. We know you're talking, we can hear you, but we do not know what you're saying because it's too low. It's very low. Um, yeah, that's what I'm receiving in the comments as well right now. This is what everybody is saying, that it's too low, voice is not clear. What to do? How to fix that now? Yeah. Hi, Hazar. Hazar sitting on TikTok. She is a teacher that I work with in Dubai. How are you? Just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge her. She's very excited. Yes, John, we can't hear you because your voice is too low. And I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me? You can hear me, okay? But I can't hear you. Your connection, whatever connection wire you are using, that's not serving you well right now. It served you well when we started, but it's not working right now. And don't panic. You fix it while I will continue with the audience, and we'll start with your input as soon as you are done with your audio. Okay? So don't worry, everyone. These things happen. So I'll just move forward right now. Our segment one is how unsafe environments shape us. Most educators did not grow up emotionally equipped for public scrutiny. Educators हमेशा क्लासरूम के अंदर होते हैं. हम लोग एज टीचर्स क्लासरूम के अंदर अपने एक छोटे से ग्रुप को लेकर अपने रोज का एक लेसन पढ़ाते हैं, 2 लेसन्स पढ़ाते हैं, उन स्टूडेंट्स को हम जानते हैं, वो हमसे छोटे हैं उम्र में, और हम जिस कल्चर से आते हैं वहाँ पर इन स्टूडेंट्स पर ये फ़र्ज़ समझा जाता है कि वो अपने टीचर्स और अपने उस्ताद का एहतराम करें। वेस्टर्न कल्चर में थोड़ा-सा डिफरेंट है, वो भी अपने उस्तादों का एहतराम करते हैं, लेकिन उनके यहाँ एक फ्रैंकनेस ज़रा ज़्यादा है अपने टीचर्स के साथ, जबकि हमारे यहाँ वो फ्रैंकनेस थोड़ी कम है। इसलिए जब हम क्लास में होते हैं तो हम इमोशनली इक्विप्ड नहीं होते पब्लिक स्क्रूटनी के लिए। आपने देखा होगा अगर कोई पेरेंट भी आकर आपको कॉरिडोर में खड़ा होके 4 बातें सुना दे, तो आपका पूरा दिन खराब हो जाता है, आप पूरा हफ्ता बेचैन रहते हैं कि मुझे सबके सामने हमारे साथ बदतमीज़ी हो गई, या किसी ने हमें इस तरह से कुछ कह दिया, या किसी पेरेंट ने स्टूडेंट्स के सामने कह दिया, स्टूडेंट्स क्या सीखेंगे इससे। लेकिन जब आप सोशल मीडिया पर आ जाते हैं और आप अपने आप को प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं एज़ अ स्ट्रॉन्ग टीचर, तो ये चीज़ें होने के इम्कानात बढ़ जाते हैं। You have to grow adapting now. If you spoke too much, you were corrected. अगर आप ज़्यादा बोलते हैं तो आपको फ़ौरन कोई ना कोई करेक्ट करता है. If you show emotion, you are labeled कि too emotional है, इसको ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, इसको वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए, लोगों के कमेंट्स आना शुरू हो जाते हैं. If you question authority, you are difficult. अगर आप अपने स्कूल में अपने मैनेजमेंट से कोई सवाल जवाब कर लेते हैं तो वो आपको एज अ डिफ़िकल्ट कॉलीग या डिफ़िकल्ट एम्प्लॉई लेबल कर देते हैं. So with all these experiences, you are learning how to survive. Now, fast forward, you post online, you share an idea, you express an opinion, and one comment says, "Who do you think you are?" कौन हो भैया आप? एक कमेंट आ जाता है किसी का, अब मालूम नहीं वो आपसे उम्र में छोटे हैं, बड़े हैं, वी डोंट नो, आपके कंपेटिटर्स हैं, कोई और कोलीग है जो आपको जानता है, एनोनिमसली आपके उन्होंने कमेंट कर दिया, या कोई ऐसा शख्स है जो आपको जानता ही नहीं है, उसे पता ही नहीं कि आपने अपनी लाइफ में कितनी स्ट्रगल की है या कितने बच्चों को सक्सेसफुल बनाया है, क्योंकि वो आपके स्टूडेंट्स थे और आज वो अपनी-अपनी लाइफ में सक्सेसफुल खड़े हैं और आपको उसका क्रेडिट भी देते हैं। ये एक कमेंट करने वाले शख्स को ये सब चीज़ें नहीं पता। आपकी बॉडी रिएक्ट करती है। आप आपके लिए साँस लेना एकदम से मुश्किल हो जाती है। आप ओवरथिंक करते हैं, आप पोस्ट डिलीट करना चाहते हैं जल्दी से ताकि कोई वो कमेंट ना देख ले, या आप वो कमेंट रिपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं, एंड यू आर ऑलवेज़ सेकंड गेसिंग योर वॉइस कि ये मैंने ठीक किया है या गलत किया है। ऑनेस्टली मैं आपसे पूछूँगी, अगर आप सोशल मीडिया में ऐसी सिचुएशन पे आते हैं जहाँ आपको एक ऐसे कमेंट ने ट्रिगर किया है इमोशनली, तो आप इमीडिएटली क्या करेंगे? आप बताएँ मुझे कमेंट में लिख के कि आप इमीडिएटली क्या करेंगे? आप उसे डिलीट करेंगे, आप उसे रिपोर्ट करेंगे, या आप उसके साथ एंगेज हो जाएँगे, या आप उसे इग्नोर कर देंगे? सो प्लीज़ आप कमेंट में लिख के मुझे बताएँ. आई एम रेडी विथ माय ग्लासेस टू रीड एंड शेयर योर ideas. Let's see. Come on, RJ, Kavita, OTS, Rafia, Kiran, Hazar. Hazar is listening. And Ume Hania as well. Ume Hania, hi, how are you? So good to see you here. And we also have her sahib here. Please tell me, जब आपकी किसी पोस्ट पे कोई ऐसा कमेंट आता है जिस कमेंट पे आपको एकदम से एक इमोशनल गिरा लग जाती है, आप उसको रिस्पॉन्ड कैसे करते हैं? अभी आप मुझे ये ना बताएं कि कैसे करना चाहिए, आप मुझे ये बताएं कि कैसे करते हैं. हाउ डू यू रिस्पॉन्ड टू अ डिफिकल्ट कमेंट on your social media post? Don't tell me how you should. Tell me how you do. Okay? I'm waiting for your response. I'm waiting for your comments. Hi, Jaffer Manzoor. Welcome to our TikTok live. We are talking about emotional and psychological safety today. And we are talking about once somebody writes a difficult comment for your social media post, how do you usually respond? How do you react? So type your answer in your comments and let me read it. Okay, Sarah is saying we blocked them. Okay, Sarah, good, you blocked them. Well, there's nothing right and wrong here, but let's see what you do. RJ is saying, although it triggers, but try to ignore it. Is this what you are suggesting, RJ, or is this what you do? That's my question. Come on, Hania, Hazar, I'm waiting for your reply as well. Jafar. Naida is saying, maybe I will ignore. Okay, you'll ignore. What else can we do? What else do we do? RJ is saying she never reacts on them. Okay. We'll come to that. We'll tell you why and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Very good. Let your comments keep coming in, everyone. It's a very interactive session today. We want to see what you are saying. Okay. And let me make your comments visible as well so you can read each other's comments. Whoa. Hi, we can hear. I can hear you. John, I can hear you, but I believe your voice is still the same. I do hear you, but your voice is still the same. Your audio is too low. Not sure what to do with it.
Hello.
Yes, now we hear you. Maybe that's how you should talk. Now we hear you. Yes, now we do. Now we do.
Oh my God.
Finally, we do.
I just responded to the question you just asked everybody about how do you respond to
Yes.
comments.
Go ahead.
What I wrote was, first of all, don't engage, because then you're going to get into a big back and forth with that person. All I normally say if somebody does that is, thank you for your thoughts, and I move on.
That's a should. That is what you should do. But let's look at what people are doing these days. What do they do? And I have heard that somebody is blocking them. But you see, Sarah, the danger in blocking is how many people are you going to block? And these are the people who are coming to engage with you. And the best method is to ignore them if they value your content. And if this was a comment made by mistake, you can leave it there. But if it is very disrespectful and if it is categorized under harassment, whatever kind of harassment, yes, you will have to block this person. That's the best move if it is categorized under harassment.
Let's use Facebook as an example.
Yes.
If someone's repeatedly giving you negative comments, you can actually report them to Facebook, and they can be taken off.
Yes, you can certainly do that. There are other things you can do as well. There is a cybercrime department in all countries where you are. You can even report it to them as well, if not only Facebook, because sometimes people keep coming back from different IDs to, take your courage away or to break you emotionally. It happens. That's one type of bullying on internet that we visit, we view all the time. हम अक्सर हमें नज़र आता है कि लोग बार बार आपके कमेंट्स आप पे कमेंट्स करते हैं, ऐसे कमेंट्स करते हैं जो आपको इमोशनली ब्रेक कर रहे होते हैं। तो इसलिए अगर आपको लगता है कि फेसबुक पे या टिकटॉक पे उस शख्स को रिपोर्ट करने से आपको फ़ायदा नहीं हो रहा है क्योंकि वो आईडीज़ बदल के आ रहे हैं, तो फिर आप उसको साइबर क्राइम एजेंसी में भी उसको रिपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। इफ दिस इज इंक्रीजिंग एंड गोइंग टू दैट एक्सटेंट, यू कैन सर्टेनली डू दैट. Okay, we're still waiting for your comments and your questions, everyone, because that's how we are going to move forward. John, I have a question for you now that we can hear you. Why does one negative comment outweigh 100 positive ones in our brain?
Each one of us, I don't care how strong a person is, each one of us, we want to, when we're posting online, first of all, it takes a lot for people to post because you're putting yourself out there. You're putting either how you feel, your thoughts, and you could be getting a lot of praise from 50 people telling you how what you said meant to them. And that one person who says something really negative, that is the one you are going to focus on more than anything. And for me, I feel that's human nature. We want the positive. We all want the positive, but we keep thinking to ourselves when we get that one negative, why did that person say that?
Hmm.
What did what did I do to him that he would put something out there that he feels the way he does? Do I know this person from somewhere that has something against me? Or is this person going through something
True.
that they don't know how to express right now, what they're going through, except they still have a lot of anger inside them, so this is their outlet to put it out on social media to get rid of their pain. But I think that we all do that.
Hmm.
And I would be not telling the truth if the same thing happened with me. I'd sit there and think to myself, what did I do to you?
That is so true, John, because I really like the way you said maybe they are going through something. It does happen. ऐसा होता है बहुत बार हमारी लाइफ में हम देखते हैं कि हमने अगर सोशल मीडिया पे कोई पोस्ट डाली या नहीं भी डाली, आप अपने रोज जो कोलीग्स के साथ मिलते हैं अपने वर्क प्लेस पे, वहां पे कोई कोलीग ऐसा है जो रोज आपको कोई ऐसी बात कह देता है जो उसे नहीं कहनी चाहिए, और आप ये सोचते हैं कि मैंने तो इसके साथ कोई बुराई की नहीं, मैं तो हार्डली इससे बात भी करती हूँ या करता हूँ, ये मुझे बार-बार इस तरह की बात क्यों कर देते हैं? क्यों मुझे डीमीन करते हैं, डिग्रेड करते हैं, हर हर बात में कोशिश करते हैं कि मुझे नीचा दिखाया जा सके। और उसकी रीज़न यूजुअली समटाइम्स ये होती है कि हो सकता है वो शख्स खुद किसी बहुत बड़ी मुश्किल से गुज़र रहा हो, और अक्सर लोग जो हैं वो अपने आप को एंटाइटल्ड समझना शुरू कर देते हैं जब वो किसी मुश्किल से गुज़र रहे होते हैं। तो उनको लगता है कि वो किसी दूसरे को पंचिंग बैग बना सकते हैं। जैसे जॉन ने अभी कहा दैट मे बी दिस पर्सन इज़ गोइंग थ्रू समथिंग समथिंग वेरी, वेरी डिफिकल्ट, एंड द ओनली थिंग that they know how to cope with it, how to deal with it is to make somebody else a punching bag, और अपना जो एंगर है वो उसके ऊपर ट्रांसफर करके, अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन उसके ऊपर ट्रांसफर करके, शायद उनको ऐसा लगता होगा कि उनको कोई रिलीफ मिल जाएगा या उनको कोई सुकून मिल जाएगा, बट टू बी ऑनेस्ट इट डजंट हैपन. The moment you do something like that, and if you're not that kind of person by nature, you feel bad immediately, but there is no going back, when especially when it is posted on social media. So it's very important that you keep your anger to yourself. Nobody owes you anything. अगर आपके साथ कुछ गलत भी हो गया लाइफ में, तो भी people do not owe you anything. Okay, if you are going through a job loss or a money loss or a fraud or something terrible that has happened in your life, nobody still owes you anything. That's what you need to keep in mind. So you should not use anyone as your punching bag, especially people on social media. They're not there to become your punching bags. वो वहाँ पे इसलिए नहीं बैठे हुए हैं, आप वहाँ पे इसलिए नहीं बैठे हुए कि आप किसी का पंचिंग बैग बन जाए. और इसमें सबसे बड़ा जो इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है वो यही है कि आप उन्हें इग्नोर कर दें. एज लॉन्ग एज इट इज़ नॉट कैटेगराइज्ड एज हरासमेंट, आप उसको इग्नोर कर सकते हैं, आप उसको जाने दें. उसको पता नहीं बेचारे का कैसा दिन जा रहा था, चलो एक कमेंट करके उसने शायद कोई सुकून कमा लिया होगा, मे भी कमा लिया होगा, यू नेवर नो, राइट? Let me remind you again why we are talking about all of this. Many educators want monetization. हम चाहते हैं कि हम इंटरनेट पे आएँ, हम ऐसा कुछ अपना कंटेंट क्रिएट करें जिससे हमें पैसे मिलें. बेसिकली तो हम यही करना चाह रहे हैं ना, और तो कोई रीज़न नहीं है किसी के लिए भी कैमरा पे आके बैठने की. फ्यू आर साइकोलॉजिकली प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर विजिबिलिटी. बहुत कम लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो दुनिया को फेस करने के लिए तैयार होते हैं, लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग इस तैयारी के साथ सोशल मीडिया पर नहीं आते. Now, we are not the entertainment content creators. You have to remember that. We are educators. So there is a difference. On entertainment content, people can comment in number of ways, but on educational content, it's very important that that fine line of respect is being maintained. So it depends on how you're projecting yourself on social media, but at the same time, you also need to filter and figure out if the wrong kind of people are coming to your feed or your lives or your videos. You need to start filtering them. Okay, तो वो बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है. If your nervous system reads criticism as danger, you will shrink. आप confidence lose कर जाएंगे. So it's very important that your nervous system is supporting you in how to read the criticism online or even at workplace. And shrinking kills impact. Yes, John?
Um, I'm not familiar with this part. So what you're talking about right now, I actually I have a question for you. Do you find that educators are going through a tough time on social media, getting negative comments?
I believe they do. I'm very sure they do because I'm one of them. And the struggles I have, because of those struggles, I can guarantee that every educator is having tough time on social media. The reason is they don't know how to differentiate between entertainment and educational content. That's the main thing, which is making them confused and uncomfortable and restless. And the other thing is, as a teacher, as an educator, you always receive respect, especially in certain cultures. You can't talk back at your teacher. You gotta listen to their instruction. You have to follow if they're your teachers. But on social media, that's not happening. On social media, people will talk back. They are not going to see you as an educator because their brain is not trained to see you as educator if you are sitting on camera. For example, I'm having a live right now. People are looking at me as an entertainer. They're not looking at me as a content creator for education. And that exactly is happening on my posts as well. Most of my
So you're
posts most of my posts have comments from people who have nothing to do with education, and all they can do to contribute or engage is send me a heart, which doesn't do any good for me. But thank you so much that you came to my video and you watched it and you left a heart. But that's not the kind of engagement I want as an educator, right?
right, because obviously when I met you and we started doing these podcasts, and obviously you had sent me stuff that you had done beforehand, and I watched that, and I thought to myself, okay, this is about education. So she's trying to teach people something. So why this would be for me? This would be the last person on the planet I'd want to pick on if I was somebody that would wrote negative comments. I should be encouraging her
it's
to
it's
keep
not
doing
just
what
about
she's doing.
negative comment, John. It's about not the right kind of comment. For example, uh, well, I don't want to say that by acknowledging it, but I think it's just a good example, like, telling me that I have beautiful eyes. That's not going to help me with my educational content at all. But here we are with that comment, and I'm not even deleting it. I'm leaving it there because somebody made an effort. So that's all right. One day I'll reach the audience that should be coming to my lives or my podcast. And I do have from LinkedIn, as I told you earlier as well, we do have a lot of people every time, every Wednesday, every Tuesday when we have our live. The most of the people who are signing up are educators, so which is a good sign. That shows us that there are educators who are listening. But educators are very scared of leaving comments, unfortunately. So if somebody is watching me right now from LinkedIn, they're going to be watching me quietly. And that's what we are talking about, that either we are exposed to comments that are not relevant or negative. I'm not yet exposed to negative comments, thank God, but I'm ready for it because I know that's a part and parcel of being on social media. But the right kind of groups, when they come to your lives or your when they reach your page or your content, then the real conversations start. Then you know that you are actually making a difference in somebody's life. Your tips are being taken seriously. Somebody has tried an idea that you shared online, and now they are finding it useful. So I don't think we have reached that stage with educators, not just with me particularly, but I'm talking about many educators. I have Rafia sitting here. She posts every single day without a fail. Every single day, there is a beautiful activity that she posts, and I see hardly any comments acknowledging it. There might be likes, but not to an extent that the post actually deserves. So, obviously, her content is not reaching the right people, or the right people are keeping quiet and not telling her that they are watching her, which is not fair. This is what we are basically talking about. And this all comes back to resilience, and it all comes back to psychological safety. And as you said earlier, whether or not people are strong when they are exposed to negativity or a complete silence and no comments at all, it can be very discouraging. And we gotta see how we can help our friends to be ready for that kind of response, one which is negative and then no response. Both are killing in one way or other. What do you say, John?
It is very hard to look. I'll admit it. Actually, I said it a few minutes ago. I'll put out something that I'm really proud of, and I'll think to myself, "Hey, that was really good. This I should get a lot of play out of this. People will be looking. People will be hitting likes. They'll comment back. But if there's that one, that will be where my thought process is now gone. And do I engage with this person? Do I ignore it? But as I said, that's when I first started out doing this a few years ago. I remember I was getting a lot of comments. People liked what I was saying. But there was one gentleman. I don't know who he was. And I saw the name and I went to his Facebook page and he had 0 followers. And I thought, is this a fake account? Is this somebody that, is just out there putting negative pieces against people? Because you do hear about people, and not just on Facebook, but it's also on LinkedIn as well, where I'll research the person first before I write back. And no matter what, I always say, don't go down to that level. Don't sit there, and because if you do, you're going to wind up going right back and forth with this person. And every good thing that you just put out, everybody who sees that is now going to look at me differently.
True.
Because I can sit here and you and I can talk about how important psychological safety is. And if all of a sudden while we're sitting here, one of your listeners writes something, I don't agree with either one of you. Everything you just said is horrible. Am I going to sit there and think to myself, Saher and I are really having a good conversation. We're letting people know, hey, this is how you handle social media. This is the proper way to do it. Yes, it's so hard, and I would literally dare anybody to tell me something different. It is hard not to let it go, but you have to. You as educators, professionals, whatever you're going to do, if you are that true professional, if you are that leader, you need to take emotion out of it.
True. So true. John, we have a question for you. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
Okay. Sarah is asking you, John, how does emotional safety influence the way people communicate, collaborate, and resolve conflict in both personal and professional relationships? Shall I repeat?
No, we all have, well, most of your listeners are all educators, correct?
Yes, most of them.
As you just said. I've had, I work in predominantly with healthcare workers right now. And have I worked in different fields before? Absolutely. I've worked in state and local government. I've worked in retail. I've worked in a number of different fields before I finally found what I wanted to do. And it is surprising that, and I'm going to use healthcare as an example right now, if it's the stress of healthcare, of being understaffed, not enough nurses, not enough help to go around. It's a highly stressful field that you think a field like that everybody would be so emotionally secure with how they interact with people, and it's not always that way. You have to be on top of your game with your patients, and you are. But a lot of times, how we treat our colleagues is totally different because our colleagues also realize what we're going through. It's like, hey, they're just having a tough day, and you kind of excuse it. But that's even hard to do. That's even hard to do itself. For me, I have to constantly think about what is my goal here in helping the person that I'm working with. What are they working on that if I'm a big proponent of emotional intelligence and my self awareness, am I being self aware of how I'm talking to people? Am I engaging properly? It's okay when you are working with someone, with your colleagues, with family, with friends, is if you're even in just in a conversation, you don't have to answer a question right back. Take that pause, only a couple seconds, because you might not like what the person has just asked you.
Mm.
So instead of, I'm not going to say raging back, but how that question hits you is how you're going to respond. So if you automatically, if something, you can feel it, if something's rubbing you the wrong way, stop for a second, go, just nod, take a deep breath, whatever you have to do, and then respond. Everyone doesn't have, and I think we all are aware of this, everyone doesn't have the same degree of emotional intelligence. As much as I would like to say that everyone does, I think we all know that they don't. And you and I, in earlier talks, when we talked about emotional intelligence, is how many people have we dealt with on whether it's we've run across in our professional and personal lives is those 5 degrees of emotional intelligence. Not everyone has, so you have to work with those different areas to get your point across with people, to be able to get them to work with you and with your family. When I sit and I talk with my kids have all different age ranges. My oldest is, what is she, 27, and my youngest is 17. Now, a conversation that I can have with her obviously is going to be different from what I have with him because they all, with whatever they're going through, I have to tailor my conversation, my tone, and the point I'm trying to get across to him has to be what he can understand.
Right. Sarah, I hope that you got your answer. We do have one more question here, and because we're running out of time, I want to make sure we did answer all the questions. It says, Seher, in your experience as a host and leader, what practical steps can individuals take to create psychologically safe spaces where others feel heard and valued? So, Sarah, I've got like I believe in making things basically easier. I don't want complications. I don't want frameworks, and I don't want lengthy procedures. So for me, here is your first tool, the identity separation rule. That's very important. You be a leader, or you be a social media content creator, or a host, whoever, whatever position you are in, the identity separation rule is very important, and it's a basic rule. You've got to understand that whatever you are seeing is basically it's data, it's information. Comments are opinions. And neither data, like neither comments or views, and neither opinions are identity. They are that is information basically. So before reacting, say internally, you should always think in your mind, this is about content and not about me. If you cannot separate your identity from feedback, do not scale yet. Build stability first. This is very important. मैं आपको दोबारा बता देती हूँ सारा, कि जब आप सोशल मीडिया पर या आप अपने ऑफिस में या अपने वर्क प्लेस पे आप नेगेटिव कमेंट्स देखते हैं, या आप उन लोगों के ओपिनियंस जानते हैं, ये इन्फॉर्मेशन है। इसको आप पर्सनल मत करें, इसको ये मत कहें कि ये मेरे बारे में नहीं, ये आपके बारे में नहीं है, ये लोगों की ओपिनियंस हैं, जो इसलिए फॉर्म होती हैं क्योंकि वो एक सर्टेन बैकग्राउंड से आ रहे हैं। यू अंडरस्टैंड माई पॉइंट? ठीक है। अभी मैं आपको इसको एक और एग्जांपल से एक्सप्लेन भी करूंगी, लेकिन आप इस बात को अंडरस्टैंड करें कि ओपिनियंस, कमेंट्स इज इंफॉर्मेशन. दिस इज नॉट अबाउट यू, दिस इज नॉट योर आइडेंटिटी. ओके, सो यू हैव टू ऑलवेज मेक अ सेपरेशन देयर, और अपने आप को आपने बताना है कि ये मेरे बारे में नहीं है, ये उस कंटेंट के बारे में है, या उस स्टेटमेंट या उस इंस्ट्रक्शन के बारे में है जो मैंने दी है, या जो मैंने वीडियो पोस्ट की है, ये जो कमेंट आया ये उसके बारे में, ये मेरे बारे में नहीं है. नॉट अबाउट यू. ओके, अगर आप अपने आप को इससे सेपरेट कर सकती हैं, अपनी आइडेंटिटी को फीडबैक से सेपरेट कर सकती हैं, तो फिर आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता. ओके, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, इसको समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. जैसे मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ कि एक वक्त था जब जो लड़कियां जीन्स पहनती थी, लंबे कुर्तों के साथ जीन्स पहन के कोई लड़की निकल जाती थी, तो उसके ऊपर बड़ी बातें बनती थी, उसके कैरेक्टर की असैसिनेशन भी की जाती थी. लेकिन अब हम ये बात जानते हैं इतने सोशल मीडिया एक्सपोजर के बाद बाद के एक बैगी जीन्स पहन के और एक बैगी शर्ट पहन के सर कवर करके बाहर निकलने वाली लड़की, ज़रूरी नहीं कि उसका कैरेक्टर ख़राब ही हो सकता है वो बहुत सौ से बहुत बेहतर हो. और एक शलवार कमीज़ में बाहर निकलने वाली खातून का कैरेक्टर क्वेश्चनेबल भी हो सकता है. ये बात हम बड़ी अच्छी तरह से अब जानते हैं. एक ढके छुपे शख्स से बुराई की उम्मीद रखी जा सकती है, ज़रूरी नहीं कि जो शख्स हर बात खुलेआम कर देता है, उस बात पर आप उसको जज करें. तो आपको ये चीज़ें सेपरेट करनी पड़े. कोई दिखता कैसा है, कोई बोलता क्या है, आपको उसके पर्सनैलिटी से ये चीज़ें अलग करनी पड़ेंगी. यू विल हैव टू सेपरेट द विजुअल appearance or the comments or the opinions from the identity. That's very important for others and for yourself as well. अगर ये हमने कर लिया तो हम बहुत अच्छी जगह पर पहुंच जाएंगे, और जिसे हम कहते हैं नॉन जजमेंटल स्टेज. क्योंकि जैसे मैं एक दफ़ा फिर रिमाइंड करा दूं हमारी पाकिस्तानी ऑडियंस को कि किसी को भी जज करने का जो रूल है हमारे यहाँ, वो हमने अपने सर ले लिया है एक सेहरा कि हाँ जी हमने हर एक को बैठ के जज करना है. लेकिन सिर्फ अल्लाह की ज़ात है जो आपको जज कर सकती है. आपको नहीं पता कि कोई शख्स अगर इंटरनेट पे कुछ पोस्ट कर रहा है, कंटेंट कुछ पोस्ट कर रहा है, उसके पीछे क्या बैकग्राउंड है, उसकी क्या मजबूरी हो सकती है. आपको बिल्कुल इन चीज़ों के बारे में पता नहीं है, तो आप किसी को जज मत करें. और अपना वक्त बर्बाद ना करें लोगों की फालतू की एक्टिविटीज़ के ऊपर कमेंट्स करके आप अपना वक्त बर्बाद कर रहे हैं. उससे आपको कोई एक पैसे का फ़ायदा नहीं हो रहा. आप ऐसे कामों में अपने आप को एंगेज करें जहाँ पे आपको मोनेटाइज़ करना आए अपनी स्किल को, और आप इंटरनेट के ऊपर कोई फ़ायदा, कोई अपना पैसा कमा सकें वहाँ से. ये है आपका जो एजेंडा है. ये नहीं है कि आप लोगों को बैठ के वहाँ पे जज करें. एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए किसी को देखना एक अलग बात है, लेकिन बैठ के लोगों को जज करना उनकी ज़ाती ज़िंदगी, उनकी ज़ाती चॉइसेस की वजह से, ये बिल्कुल गलत है, और इसका हक आपको किसी ने नहीं दिया. आपके मज़हब ने तो एटलीस्ट नहीं दिया, हमारे मज़हब ने तो एटलीस्ट नहीं दिया. ठीक है? तो ये चीज़ सबसे पहले ज़हन में रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है. ये प्रैक्टिकल टिप है जो मैं आपको दे रही हूँ, क्योंकि इसकी हमें बहुत सख्त ज़रूरत है. उसके बाद हमारे पास एक पॉइंट और भी है, और वो ये है, यू कैन नॉट कंट्रोल एल्गोरिदम्स, you cannot control strangers, you cannot control tone of how people are talking to you or how people are writing comments, but you can control your internal framework. Psychological safety online rests on three disciplines: boundaries, regulation, and clarity. Boundaries mean you are allowed to delete, block, mute अगर कोई आपको हरास कर रहा है. या आपको किसी चीज़ से शदीद इख्तलाफ हो रहा है, तो आप उन्हें डिलीट कर दें, म्यूट कर दें, ब्लॉक कर दें, वो आपकी मर्ज़ी है। इफ समवन कैन एक्सेस योर नर्वस सिस्टम थ्रू अ कमेंट, यू हैव गिवन देम अ लॉट मोर पावर देन दे शुड हैव। प्लीज़, लोगों के हाथ में इतनी ताकत मत दें, इतनी पावर मत दें कि एक कमेंट लिख के वो आपका दिन बर्बाद कर दें। प्लीज़। John, where is the line between resilience and overexposure? How should we respond to these things where people are responding to one comment and giving power to other people? Hello?
I don't know if you'll agree with this or not. As you say that, a lot of what we do, and I think I'm answering this question because I follow Tony Robbins, who's a life coach, and everything is about your mindset. If you walk into a situation, everything you're describing, and I'm going to allow somebody to get to me, it's kind of like what I heard him say the first time. When you get up in the morning every day and you say to yourself, I'm going to have a crummy day, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a crummy day. So you have to be able to, whatever part you're going to do in your life, whether it's getting up in the morning or different people that you have to deal with that day, you can either choose to, I'm going to let these people get to me, or I'm just going to answer them and I'm not going to give in to the negativity that they're trying to put forth.
True.
And we all are not the same. What's something that might affect me deeply, you might think to yourself, well, that wasn't really a big deal. But it is all how it's how we each one of us frames it, what someone says to us.
True.
And I can either suffer through what they said, or I can choose to just let it go. And it is not easy to let it go all the time.
Mm. So true.
But for me, it is about mindset.
For all the audience, I'll just recap what we've been discussing. It's very important that you see how your body is reacting to certain comments or certain opinions. Regulation means you do not respond when activated. If your heart rate rises, you log off. If you feel defensive, you pause. Reactive creators burn out, strategic creators build. Clarity means you know why you are online. Okay, don't forget that. If you are posting for validation, criticism, and you know, it will destabilize you. If you are posting for mission, criticism becomes information. So you have to remember that. What exactly is your purpose of posting? Validation, because you want other people's acknowledgement. Then yes, criticism will disable you. But if you are posting because you have a mission, for example, I have a mission that I want all our teachers to learn skills for side hustle, for side income, for online income. That's my mission. What can people criticize me on for? What am I doing wrong here? What's wrong with that? And yes, my other mission is to create awareness for special educational needs. What can go wrong there? So you see how you have to remember your mission, and then you are immediately liberating yourself from what kind of criticism can be there. If I post wrong information, which could be fundamentally wrong, like I posted something, symptoms of autism or something like that, which may not be right. Now that is a loophole in my knowledge, not in my mission. And I can fix that, right? I wrote something wrong. I posted something wrong on social media. I can take that video off, or I can, repost an apology saying, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood what I was posting and I gave you the wrong information. And I apologize for that. What will happen? People will believe you that you are true and honest in what your mission is, and you're true to your mission, then criticism is secondary. You shouldn't be bothered about it. So that's very, very important. Remember why you are on social media: validation or mission. Mission will liberate you. John, do you want to say anything else before we close?
Yes, I do want to try and leave on a good note, but you just said something a minute ago that honestly, and you and I have been about, hey, let's say what's on your mind, and the first thing that comes up, just do how you feel, don't hide it. And you are someone who is trying to help a lot of people. You definitely are. There's nothing wrong with anything you're trying to do. But I also view it as not just with what you're doing, anybody that's trying to build something to help people, there's always going to be the criticism out there because you're always going to have one person that looked and thought to themselves, I can do it better.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely.
And as much as we don't want to hear it, there is, and that's going to be the person that criticizes.
Yes.
But they're also going to be the person that isn't taking the steps you are to help people. So that's when we talked a minute ago about reframing things in your mind when things come up. Those are the things you have to keep in mind. Hey, I'm putting myself out there. I'm trying to help people the best I can. If you have one or two people that are going to criticize, I'm sorry to say, that is a big part of life. And we don't want to word it like that or try and be so blunt, but it's the truth.
True.
That is what we are here to talk about.
True.
You have to push past that. Keep with your goals, every one of your listeners. I admire educators unbelievably because of what they've done, not just for the people that they're taking care of, but for me, my kids, my friends, and how far they have gotten. But don't let the criticisms, the negativity, take you away from your mission, as you just said a minute ago. Keep pushing yourself forward because on the other side, you're gonna see this as be the person that you are meant to be.
So true. So here is the thing, educators. आप side hustle build करना चाहते हैं? You want to build a side hustle on internet? Go for it. You want to monetize your knowledge? आप चाहते हैं कि आप ऐसा content create करें जिससे आप पैसा कमा सकें? Go for it. You want to launch the course? Go for it. You want to start the platform? Go for it. But do not sacrifice psychological safety for visibility. Money without mental stability is expensive, and you don't know yet what you are paying. Growth without regulation is fragile. So, before you scale your income, scale your inner stability. Ask yourself tonight, am I psychological safe online? क्या मैं नफ्सियाती तौर पे इमोशनली ऑनलाइन जब मैं कुछ पोस्ट करती हूँ या करता हूँ, क्या मैं अपने आप में मजबूत हूँ? क्या मैं अपने आप में सेफ हूँ? क्या चीज़ें मुझे बॉदर करती हैं? जब लोग कमेंट्स करते हैं तो क्या ये मुझे बॉदर करता है, और अगर बॉदर करता है तो मैं किस तरह से अपने आप को कंडीशन करूँ कि ये चीज़ें सेकेंडरी हो जाएं, क्योंकि आपका मिशन बहुत बड़ा है. सो स्टे फोकस्ड ऑन योर मिशन, because the strongest leaders are not the loudest. You want to be the leading content creator, right? That is a leader, and they're not the loudest. They're the most regulated. So you need to self-regulate yourself all the time. That's what is the key. This was episode 1 on psychological safety. We will be back next Tuesday again with another episode and taking things forward कि हमें ऐसा क्या करना चाहिए कि हम अपनी mental stability, अपनी mental safety को, अपनी psychological and emotional safety को prioritize कर सकें, और ऐसे क्या steps ले सकें कि online content बनाने के बावजूद अगर हमारे पास कुछ भी नेगेटिव आता है तो हम उसको किस तरह से फेस करते हैं. हम ऐसे क्या स्टेप्स लें कि वो हमें बॉदर ना करें, हमारा दिन बर्बाद ना हो, और हमारी बॉडी के अंदर जो एक टेंशन आ जाती है वो ना आए. So we'll be talking a lot about it because it's a very, very important topic before we start teaching you how to monetize your skill on social media. Okay? So the safety within is the most important agenda right now. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation, for your questions. And inshallah, see you again next Monday for Bonus Monday and next Tuesday for the second episode of Psychological Safety. Thank you so much, John. And here we go, saying good night so you can go and have